welcome back. So this is the decision. In the matter of the Licensing Act 2003, application for variation of premises licence, Pitiago, 29 Marion Road, Southsea, all parties shall receive written confirmation of the decisions and reasons. Decision, the subcommittee has considered very carefully that the application for variation of premises licence, it gave due regard to the Licensing Act 2003, the licensing objectives, statutory guidance and the adopted statement of licensing policy. The subcommittee considered the relevant representations, both written and given at the hearing by all parties. Human rights legislation and the public sector equality duty has been borne in mind whilst making this decision. The subcommittee noted that the application sought an extension in hours for the sale supply of alcohol, the provision of late night refreshment and an extension to opening hours at the premises. An extension was sought for live and recorded music, performance of dance on New Year's Eve. There has been representation from 10 residents. Those objecting raised concerns broadly in relation to the licensing objectives of public nuisance and crime and disorder, with the issues of concerning relating to noise, particularly from customers outside dispersing and or smoking, antisocial behaviour, litter, including the storage of trade waste. No formal representations has been made by the responsible authorities. In particular, it was noted that neither the police nor environmental health had raised any concern with this application. It was noted that the applicant had amended the application to reduce the proposed hours of the premises to open from midnight to 23:45 on Friday and Saturday evening. After having heard all of the above evidence, the subcommittee determined to grant the proposed application in the amended terms sought. Reasons. The subcommittee listened very carefully to residents' concerns and has had to balance those concerns against the interests of the business. In doing so, it's had to determine the extent of the impact that the proposed variation might have upon the licensing objectives of the prevention of public nuisance and crime and disorder. The subcommittee has had to take account of the fact that no representation has been received from the police or environmental health at this stage, and therefore the interference of being at their expert provision. Tongue twister, guys, sorry, hang on. That their expert professional position is that the proposal is not considered likely to undermine the licensing objectives. Weight has been attached to that position as each are considered the lead in their respective field. Residents indicated that the premises is located in an area that has had issues of late-night antisocial behaviour. However, the subcommittee has had to consider whether the proposed variation is likely to undermine the licensing objectives. The residents have a sincere fear that additional hours will inevitably aggravate the issues of concern. For the premises, the subcommittee heard that the premises is now to be run under the direct control of the applicant, being accepted that previous management had caused issues and lessons have been learned. The repeated assertion being that the premises shall be run as a restaurant with background music only, and there will be no bottomless brunches offered or unlimited alcohol promotions, and there shall be no karaoke. There is already a condition prohibiting the sale of alcohol unless with a table meal, and accordingly there is no intention of or possibility for the premises to become a late-night drinking establishment. It was noted that the applicant did not seek to amend the hours of live entertainment or recorded music at the premises, save for New Year's Eve. The subcommittee was also reassured by the process to be implemented to secure training of staff and that the closing of the premises is smoothly managed. Further reassurances were provided that the opening of the doors to the rear of the property and playing of music by staff after hours will be supervised and properly managed to prevent noise escape. The subcommittee acknowledges that the concerns of residents objecting to the proposed hours and is disappointed to hear that the premises has had a difficult history with the same premises licence holder in the past, albeit it's under a different management. The subcommittee recommends that the premises and residents engaged in dialogue to address concerns in future and is reassured to see the applicant has provided his personal contact number moving forward. In the event that the proposed operation of the premises does lead to issues of concern, residents are strongly advised to report matters to environmental health or the police where appropriate. Residents can be very much reassured that there are powers to deal with the premises if a licence leads to the licensing objectives being undermined. Not least is the power for residents or responsible authorities to bring review proceedings where steps can be taken to restrict the licence, impose conditions, or in extreme circumstances revoke the licence when evidence shows issues result from licensable activity. Action can also be taken separately by environmental health in relation to statutory noise if a noise nuisance if reported. The subcommittee heard legal advice during the hearing that confirmed that the amended operating schedule would be converted into conditions attached to the licence. A last entry re-entry condition was considered but not felt necessary at this time, particularly hearing that the premises intended to restrict re-entry in any event as part of its own policy. On balance and in light of the assurances given and the protections given in place, the subcommittee was not satisfied that it would be appropriate to restrict the premises proposed application at this point in time. There is a right to appeal for all parties in the Magistrates' Court, and formal notification of this decision will be written out in full. Thank you. Right, I'll hand over to Ben.
Nominations for chair. I presume Councillor Strudwick. Is that?
Happy to second or propose.
I can't propose.
Perfect. Right, we'll move to Derek.
Members, yes, I'll be very brief. As you heard this morning, there's two applications. You've dealt with the first one. This second application is for Zaytuna at 17 Marmion Road. The only difference between the two is that this application received just two objections, one from Mr Marsden and one from Ms Chartler, who you've heard from today, and they also objected to Pitigliano. I can repeat what I said earlier if you wish, but I'm sure my address to you regarding Pitigliano is still fresh in your mind. You have the same conditions to apply, and the determination with regard to what you can do with this application is also the same. So therefore I don't propose to say any more unless you wish me to add anything further.
Don't worry. Right, where are we? Perfect. I'm going to ask for you to do your case now.
Yeah, sure. I have already mentioned previously for the Pitigliano. I can continue same things again for Zaytuna, which is I mean, I have the experience again, and we've been opening July, and with the family business, quite successful. Never had any complaint from the 3 flats above the restaurants at all, and which is I'm happy to have the following condition added to the premises license, if appropriate, with the exclusion of New Year's Eve and separate temporary event notice. I would like to offer the following additional measures. Deliveries and refuse collection cannot take between hours of 20 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Glass refuse cannot be removed from the restaurant to outside bin between 20 and 8 o'clock in the morning. No drinks may be taken for consumption directly outside the restaurant. No entertainment after 23 at Zaytuna on Friday and Saturday night. Background music will be turned off at 23:30. the light level will be increased at 23:45 to get the customer to leave by midnight, before midnight. A sign will be displayed at the front door to ask the customer to consider local residents and leave the premises quietly, and also to consider residents if smoking outside the front area. A sign will be displayed at the service exit door. This will remind the staff on the hours of rubbish disposal, and also to consider residents if they are outside the rear door. Yeah, thank you.
Members, any questions? Question?
I think I've asked before.
Do you want to ask it now?
Yes. Because, sorry, one of the concern from the residents is they said this property or restaurant has gotten only one toilet. So what do you have to say about that? Thank you.
No, they are wrong. It's just two toilets, two separate toilets, one for gents, one for ladies. Unfortunately, I don't know why they write this. Never been one toilet at all. Always been two toilets from the new establishment.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
because you haven't mentioned anything about the disabled toilet here, do you have disabled toilets?
The toilets itself are used for disabled, so we've had people before on mobility scooters able to use it inside, and we've got special railings as well. If they're able to get up, they can. If not, a ramp could be used, but it has never been used.
We had one disabled lady, and she was
Very happy,
coping
satisfied, yeah.
very well for it.
Especially at the entrance of the property itself, there's a ramp as well and railings, so anybody with disability issues, it's much easier entrance for them as well.
Could you just tell me a little bit about the restaurant, please? How many seaters? What do you do?
Yeah, the seats again is about 50 seats, and it's quite nice environmental Moroccan food, Moroccan old cuisine, and we get quite a few birthdays party. We had a wedding party as well there, and it didn't affect any of the neighbors or any particular noise. Mind you, there were only about 35 people, and been running nicely. The outside, we clear it and we clean it frequently, me and my wife. And I think one of the residents, he keep coming in. I've seen him a couple times, more than a couple times, walk out from the backyard. I didn't say anything to him. He just want to make sure it's nice and clean. And serving alcohol, of course, with the meal. We had few customers try to come for just drinks, because they are so large people. We did refuse that, to say to them, we've got the restaurant, especially Friday night. It get very busy with the people, so we don't get many people to drink in only. Maybe we had 2 or 3 occasions, which is couple, they drinking by the bar. And otherwise, it's quite nice successfully. We do, unfortunately, some customers, they come in at 9:30. We do inform them we are going to close 10:30, and they, unfortunately, they turn away. They gone somewhere else. That's why the reason I'd like to apply for longer hours, longer seats, and again we give the bill by the end of the 10:30, before 10:30, but we found the customer get offended to ask them for the money, but we tell them this is unfortunately our license. Also, they coming in like from 8 o'clock in the evening, but they want to stay another half an hour or another an hour, especially the weekend. We're having a bit difficulties for losing a lot of customers in that way. That's why we'd like to apply for extra an hour and a half.
Obviously, it's still fresh in our mind from the previous one. Who will be managing day to day at this one?
It's just me and my wife again.
So you're doing both.
Yes, yeah, both, yeah. I mean, our children all grown up and they are independent. And Isa is there with me. And I've got my other son, Yunus. He's just turned up 18 today, and he's going to be trained as well. He does help us on the weekend, on and off, on and off. And I've got my other son, Sami. He's in the Bournemouth University, but he's coming for the summer to give us a hand, help, and to make sure, keep his eye on the Pitiliano.
Members, any more questions? Do you have any questions?
I'm just trying to drill down into the differences between this and the previous application, because obviously we're skirting through a lot of the evidence on this particular application. So am I right in thinking that in relation to this premises licence, there isn't a current condition that restricts alcohol sales to table meals?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, no. But also, in spite of that, we just had maybe 3-4 customers, and they are couple quietly. They drinking by the bar or by the table, and some of them they ordered just a couple of starters, which is we keep it nice and tidy.
What time did your kitchen shut?
9:30 at the moment.
Members, any more?
And the hours that are being sought are precisely the same as Pitiliano?
No, just give me an extra 15 minutes by the time we close Pitiliano, and then we can close Zaytuna within that 15 minutes. So hopefully, I'll be in charge with that matter, definitely. I mean, it's quite often I had 10's license before in the past, last year, but if we're going to quiet 11:30, we close. We don't have to close every night, 12 o'clock, if there is no customers. I mean, even nowadays, especially Easter, we had very quiet Friday night or Saturday night, very quiet. We close 9:30. We don't have to wait until to get the customer.
I'm just slightly concerned on the basis of, obviously, all the complaints on the last one and your reassurance that you personally were going to deal with that, and then we've got the same complaints in this one, and again you're going to deal with it, how you're going to manage both.
Yeah, I mean, I have proved to the neighbors and to local residents there isn't any complaint, there isn't any loud music. I proved that for them. But the Pitiliano, I wasn't the manager at all. I was just the DPS in that time, unfortunately. But now I'm going to be a manager, and new rules, as I said previously in the Pitiliano, staff to make sure they're not going to be smoking outside after 10 o'clock or after the midnight closing hours. It's going to be 2 again in one time, not 3 or 4 people to have to smoke. And we can manage it quite well. And I don't think so I'm going to trust any manager to be there unless they are a member of my family.
Just going to give members, because obviously the representation from the others aren't here, so I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes just to read through any of the complaints in your file. So we're just going to go quiet for a couple of minutes just so they can have a look, because they might have some questions to come back on, all right? I'm just going to get clarification. So obviously it's mentioned. It was mentioned last time in the one previous, and then mentioned now in their deputations about food being prepped, nothing to do with licensing, and where's the other one gone? Toilet. We can't tell them how many toilets to have. Perfect. Are you looking to do bottomless brunches at all?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
I think it's hard because obviously some of these complaints are put the two together. So karaoke nights, I'm going to ask again. Will you be doing them?
No,
Fine.
I don't like the karaoke myself, you know. I mean, Mommy and Pop, they do the Poppy Lounge, they do the, it's a kind of pub entertainment rather than restaurants, you know.
Yeah. Members, any more questions?
Can I just ask a question? Presumably the assertion then again is that the premises is going to be run as a restaurant and not as a nightclub or a bar or any of that sort of type of scenario.
Yeah, correct, yes. We've been running and it's going to be continuously running as a restaurant, which is quite nice and smooth.
Members, I note again that there's no application for variation of recorded or live music, save for New Year's Eve. That's the same as the previous.
No, it was nice and smooth New Year's Eve, actually.
Can I just ask what soundproofing measures you've got in place at this place?
I'm sorry, was that?
Soundproofing measures.
Oh, it's the same again. It's quite a thick insulation. This one makes the ceiling a bit lower than the Betiliano because it wasn't very high ceiling, and but it's 100% full safety insulation.
Because I'm trying to read the plans, it's a little bit difficult. So with the door policy, what is it? Is it just one door that goes into it, or have you got double doors to kind of?
It's one door, but
Fine.
pushed in,
Okay.
like a meter away
Okay.
from the front door, the pavement.
Okay,
Yeah.
members. I'm just going to keep asking. Okay, we'll go. I guess we're going to sum it up then. Is there any more you want to add?
No, I've nothing else to add. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm going to let you gentlemen sum up now.
Okay. I mean, similar things, you know, what we try to say to you. Yeah, basically, I would like just to confirm that I want to run successful restaurants which run smoothly with the local community. At the moment, we're running as the family business, Zaytuna. We started it from July without any complaints from the neighbors at the moment, or no one walked in to say about the music or anything else. This is why this application is so important to me. I want the customer and local community to be happy, and hope that the local residents will also to be my customers. The closing down service again is going to be notified. Check your background music only is playing, and reduce volume as appropriate to 23 in evening, and quick check of the volume levels at the front and rear of the premises, and for any other signs of noise disturbance at 23. And check a table to see if customer want to order any more food or last drink of alcohol. Check if any want anything to take away home or taxi ordering by 23:30. Prepare last bill for the payment or delivery to customer 23:45. All sale alcohol must stop at 23:30. Turn off background music and increasing lighting level 23:30. Sale of food and hot drink or non-alcoholic drinks can continue until, but allow enough time for them to leave the premises and closing the time by midnight. Remind customer of closing time by 12 o'clock, 23:45, so they can leave 12. The action taken as well for the will be quick check-in of exterior premises, safe and secure, clean, all the premises tidy. The the other one, which is similar to to Bertigliano, no, the bins, rubbish bins, want to be allowed to taken out after 22. And I've been removing my cars every day, every night at 9:30 or before 10 o'clock, so won't disturb the engine sound to the neighbors. That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Right, we are going to go back into closed session now. Time, Ben?
Probably say at least quarter of an hour.
Okay.
Obviously, there's potentially some efficiencies in terms of the fact that you've already considered a lot of the issues, but I think a minimum of 15 minutes at least.
Yeah, no problem. So, time is now 1:09, so 1:30? Yeah? We'll reconvene around 1:30, hopefully.